Hi, this is Sophia Chang, and you're listening to The Sophia Chang Show. A year and a half ago, I was a Level 2 certified international aerial instructor, as well as a blues and fusion dance instructor, and I was nomadically traveling the world dancing around when I had an accident, and I fell off of the aerial cube at a local studio in Los Angeles. And I ended up with a traumatic brain injury. Who made her living using her eyes as an English tutor, and for someone who was pursuing her dream as a fantasy novelist, it felt like the end of the world to me. So that brings us to where I got the name of this podcast title. It's from the movie Molly's Game. Now, I'm sorry if I'm going to spoil it for you. It's still in second run theaters, so run out and see it for $2. You can. I'm going to try not to give you too many details, but the title comes from this pivotal moment where Jessica Chastain's character, she's talking with her father, who's this renowned but very flawed, extremely flawed psychologist. He a great psychotherapist, terrible husband and father, right? And she comes from this overachieving family. She's this former Olympian who has this career-ending accident. This is right at the beginning of the film, so I'm not, you won't miss anything, but she has this accident, and it has haunted her entire life. She's pushed herself to the point of addiction to controlled substances and even running an illegal gambling ring to make millions of dollars quite successfully as a woman. In a man's world and a man's game. This is Molly's Game. That comes from the title of her book, by the way. This is a true story. And she just can't get over this one moment. And her father has this fantastic way of reframing for her. Finally, he reframes the entire incident for her. This is really the crux of what will give her psychological freedom. So she has this accident where her ski goes over this frozen piece of pine needle that's on the slope. And it goes over in such a freak way that it clicks open the latch, and so her ski comes off. Okay, so this is like, 1 in a billion chance of it happening, and it happened to her. So it was just a terrible accident. And the announcers are always like, oh, nobody ever comes back from this kind of stuff. So that's what I had. I had what felt like a career-ending accident. Jury's still out. One day I may climb back up onto an apparatus, even though not a single person wants me to. So we'll see what happens. I'm still in recovery. But anyway, so Kevin Costner's character gives her this one insight, and he goes, "You tripped on a stick. You tripped on a stick, you had an accident, and it's always affected your life." I was bawling. I was crying my eyes out at the end of this movie. I mean, the whole father-daughter thing, I had this great, strong dad, or at least I thought he was strong growing up. And then, I too had to come to grips that he was a fallible, flawed human being with weaknesses, who made mistakes. So that aside, that little psychotherapy into my head aside, when I heard that reframe, I remember I got on the phone that night. I was under a lot of stress, and I got on the phone that night with one of the old people that I've known the longest, who's known me the best. And I told him about the movie, and I said, she tripped on a stick. And it affected her whole life. And then I said to him, I fell off a metal bar, for a year and a half. I fell off a metal bar a year and a half ago, and I am still coming to grips with the trauma the PTSD, the anxiety, the depression, the derailment of my entire life, the fact that I lost my eyesight, I lost my ability to walk, I lost my balance, and I haven't gotten them completely back yet, and I don't know if and when I ever will. You know, a lot of people swear, a lot of my treatment people swear, you will get this back. I don't know when. And it's all because I fell off a metal bar. So how does that lead to a podcast? Well, you know, it's hard for me to write blogs, although I hear blogs are out. That's what the zeitgeist says of social media right now. So the only thing I can do, if I can't look at words, because reading words is one of the hardest things for me. If I can't read words, well, I can still talk into a microphone. So here we are. I've got a podcast. And now you're listening to The Sophia Chang Show. So follow me here to hear the rest of my stories about how I graduated from Harvard when I was 20, and then I went through Hollywood and it sucked my soul, and then I got a head injury. There was some graduate school in the middle there. We'll talk all about the WTF-ery that is my life and how you can completely go from the top and fall to the very bottom and have to crawl, kicking, screaming, and cussing your way out of it. You can find me at sophiachang.com and follow me at The Sophia Chang across all social media. I'm on Instagram and Twitter the most, The Sophia Chang. You've been listening to the first episode of The Sophia Chang Show.